Bearcat Bounce Podcast. We're back at it again. Monday. Celebration Monday. Rush the field. What was that flag? Oh my gosh. A ranked W. We should be ranked, but it's okay. Monday following celebration, Stripe Stadium. Great looks. Brendan Sorsby. Tawi Walker, boom, boom. Monday, fantastic Monday yet again. A winning Monday, happiness, smiling, laughter, fun Monday. Monday as well, where we get to really break things down. A Monday as well, where the basketball team actually got a commit that I'm not going to say it was overshadowed, but a lot of things happened since then. But we're going to talk about that as well. We're going to bring that back into the fold. But a Monday where I get to welcome in the normal crew, the normal guys, the normal squad, but a very special guest as well, a former gunslinger for the Bearcats as well. So you know what? Without further ado, let's do it. Aaron Smith, Chad Brendel, Ryan Royer, and Ben Bryant. Gentlemen, how are we?
Hey! We're good. It was great to see Ben on the field. Ben wasn't the original plan tonight because I didn't know Ben was going to be there. So I saw Dylan O'Quinn and I was like, Dylan, come on the podcast Monday night. He's like, let me check. I think I've got something Monday night. I'm not sure. And then I hit up Dylan yesterday. He's like, I'm busy. And I was like, all right, Royer, go get the gunslinger out of the bullpen. Bring in Ben Bryant. It's time to go.
Chad, you can't let our guests know he's option B right when we go live.
Well, that was my fault. If I would have saw Ben first, I would have asked Ben. But I saw D.O. first. And I hadn't seen you knuckleheads, you and Will Adams and Ben and your roommate yet. So I was like, damn, I wish I don't want to, I wanted D.O. on, but I wanted Ben on as well. We could have done a round table. But yeah. D.O. couldn't do it. We'll get him later in the season. Ben could do it, so Ben is here.
Hey, I'm fine being option B. That's fine.
You were no, Ben. You were 1A. You were option 1, right? 1A, 1B. Like you were 1B. Yeah. It's the fickle terminology. We don't do 1s and 2s here. We do 1As and 1Bs.
That's true.
At least you weren't a 3 like me. I was an.
You were never a 3.
I was not even on the depth chart, man.
Oh, come on. Yes, you were. Yes, you were.
But I'm good, Brent. I had a good weekend. Things are good. Life is good. Just got home from volleyball. Got about 3 volleyball matches this week, 3 volleyball matches next week, and then Kelsey is done with the school season.
Wow. Celebration continues.
Ready for it to be over.
Celebration continues, man. Golly, I'm excited to hear all about this freaking Saturday. I've been in Michigan this entire time. The wedding season is upon us, gents. Wedding season is upon us. I was at the Detroit Athletic Center watching the game with some boys, locked in, but definitely not there on the field. So it was a sad thing. But Aaron, how are we? Tell me more. How are we, buddy?
I'm doing just fine. I'm ready to get this thing going.
Yeah, are you? That's what I like to hear. Fantastic. Well, Royer, the boy, how are we? Let's just hear, break down the clock's ticking down. You're saying, hey, I've done this before. We've rushed this field before, man. Just break down the rush. Let's hear it.
So we're sitting up there. When do you think I started saying, Ben, we're going on the field? Probably like 3 minutes left?
No, it was like 5 minutes left.
Yeah, I was like, I don't care what you guys say. This is hilarious. I have to rush the field. I've never gotten the chance to do this before. You never know how many opportunities you're going to get. And so then it was like, we were kind of like hemming and hawing it for a second. And I'm just like, no, we're doing it. So I make my way down to the edge of the drop, and we look over the edge, and it's like, well, it was high, and I was like, I've had a couple beverages. I don't really trust my proprioception, and and plyometric landing skills. So I was like,
That's it's way farther off the ground than
Oh
you
my
realize
yeah,
when you get up there.
yes.
I think
And I
somebody
saw
blew
the
out his
video of the guy-
Achilles.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw the video
For the
of
Houston
back in when we beat Houston. The dude like snapped his ankle, and I was like, yeah, I don't want to do that. So then we worked our way over a section and to where they had the lifted gate, and the poor old man security guard just standing there. I'm like, sir, I'm sorry, but we will be going on that field. He's like, no, you won't. And I just grinned at him, and he grinned back, and I was like, all right, I think that's the go ahead. So I concocted a plan with probably like 3 19-year-olds standing next to me, and I was like, all right, here, I'm gonna lift up this side, you lift up that side, throw the gate to the left. So it was a team effort. We all got out there. It was epic.
I mean, once you made it onto the field, what was the move after that? Did you?
It was me and Will like ran on the field like jackasses, like waving our hands in the air, just being stupid. And we run out, and then we're like looking around, and we look to our right, and Satterfield just right next to us, like prepping for the interview. We're like, Sat. It's like, what's up, boys? What's up? I'm like, we're going golfing with you next weekend. Congrats on the win. And just said stupid shit like that to him, and then we kind of just meandered our way out of there. Said what up to the Godfather, Brady Lichtenberg. Yeah.
There we
Then
go.
got some steak and lemonade and took my happy ass home.
Wow. There we go. How many?
Long story. Let's only a couple.
Okay. Proud of you. Except for they're real tall boys. Yeah. Let's bring in the guy that threw for over 8,000 yards in his collegiate career, threw over 5,000 yards, holds like every Lyons County record in prep school, and I mean, former Bear. I mean, what your coach probably just thinking about Kurt Weinberg just still talks about the days that Ben Bryant was slinging it for him. So you know what? Without further ado, Ben Bryant, the man. Welcome to the BBP, and how are we?
Thank you. I'm good. Happy to be here. My parents are probably excited I'm here. They're probably watching right now.
Hello, Mr. and Mrs.
What?
I think you're the only 2-time Bearcat.
I know, probably actually.
Yeah,
it's a good thing to
I
record.
thought about coming out of retirement, but
yeah. You got an extra year, Royer?
He didn't take his COVID year.
That would be the icing on the cake of my jackassery would be coming out of it at 27 years old.
Yeah.
Look, we got to give the Bryant family credit. They are long time Bearcat Journal supporters.
Yeah.
Well, they followed Ben vicariously through Bearcat Journal for many, many years.
Okay. Well then, hello, Mr. and Mrs. Good to have you live here. I'm happy to have Ben on. But yeah, you know what? But before we get going any further, if you guys are just like to hop in the car and drive around and just smile and pull down the window with the warm weather outside, and I don't know if it's still warm down there, or what the case is, head over to Danco Transition Nautica. Talk to Danco Joe about the 38-30 victory against Iowa State. Just talk about it. Talk about taking down a ranked Cyclone squad that, even though the Bearcats were favored, sure did feel like a bit of an upset with all the College Game Day, 4 out of the 5 picking Iowa State. Talk to Danco Joe about our buddy Kirk Herbstreit, giving the nod to the old Bearcats, the old red and black, and he'll also fix up your car for you, give you an oil change, $10 off that, 10% off of fixing. Tell him Ben Bryant sent you. Tell him Ryan Royer sent you. Tell him Bruno LaBelle sent you. Tell him Aaron Smith sent you.
What?
Just keep it all in there.
That one from.
And we'll lock in. Danco Transmission Nautica, fantastic spot. And talk about the O-line again. Yet again, another week of O-line of the week for the Big 12. Just talk to Danco Joe about that over at Danco Transmission and Auto Care. Ben, let's hope. Obviously, I want to hear more. Talk more about you. But talked about what it was like in Nippert Stadium on Saturday. Sadly, I was not there, but everyone else was, and it seems like it was a party that I surely did miss. What was it like from your vantage point? Just kind of the vibe seemed like, Bearcats are back type feel.
Yeah, it was super cool. I think when you're a player on the team, you don't really realize like how cool the atmosphere is there. Like I always tuned out the noise, and at Nippert we never really dealt with the noise because we were the home team. But when I was there, I was even saying to the guys like, "Holy crap! Like this is loud. This is intimidating." Although it's not like the biggest stadium ever, it's all just right there, and the fans definitely are a big factor in that game. So it was super cool. I mean, I had so much fun being out there with the guys, seeing all my old teammates, and but yeah, it was a really fun environment. So I was happy they got that win. It was huge.
Well, let's talk about your take on Brendan Sorsby, as he's been pretty fantastic here over the course of this season. Last season, obviously, there was a fall off towards the end of the season, but a guy that you're not unfamiliar with, as you were at Northwestern while he was at Indiana. So just kind of curious to get your thoughts on the guy who's trying to fill in your shoes.
Yeah, well, I thought when I was talking to you guys earlier back at Indiana, I was at Northwestern. I always watched tape of Indiana when they were playing teams that we were going to play. So I always thought like, hey, this guy can throw the ball. He's athletic. I always thought highly of him. And then he kind of sprung on the scene and went to the Bearcats, and I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. Like I think really highly of this guy. And then this year being in his second year of the offense, I think that's just like, it's such a big deal as a quarterback. Second year in the offense. I was talking to Coach Pete about it when Royer, Alec, and I were touring the facility. I'm like, dude, like it's so big to have a quarterback second year in the offense with the guys, with the coaches. You're just so much more comfortable. And you can really take that next step forward where it's not like, oh, what's this guy running? What are they doing? Like, what is my check? What is my read? It's like you just go out there and do it instead of thinking. It's more just like habit at that point. So I think he looks a lot more comfortable. Decision making is huge. Like he's taking care of the ball. Decision making, like those are the top two things I think that are so important as a quarterback. Because turnovers can kill you. I think he's only had one pick this year.
One pick, yeah.
Which is huge. Because obviously the turnover battle, that'll change games. And then just like decision making, he's completing the ball at a high percentage. Completions are big. So I really am happy with what I've seen from him this year, and just like you can tell he's taken a step from last year. And I think the challenge now with him and the whole team is just to continue that throughout the whole year, and just have that consistency.
One thing that also doesn't hurt is having a plethora of weapons to throw to. Obviously, you had NFL guys at your disposal when you were in the red and black. Trey Tucker, Tyler Scott, Alec. You mentioned Wiley. What do you see out of this pass catching group? It seems like, obviously I don't know how locked in you were on the team the past couple of seasons, but this year it looks like a huge difference in just overall athleticism and ability to get open and really, really do something once they get the ball in their hands.
Yeah, they're all super fast. I mean, they can fly, and that's a huge difference maker. And then on top of that, those guys are big. Like those receivers are tall. I didn't realize how tall they were until I was on the field and I'm walking by them, and I'm like, dang, we got like 3 Alec Pierces out here. Just freaks. So yeah, that definitely plays a factor, because like you want to have trust in those weapons that they're going to make those plays in the one-on-one situations. And obviously they've shown that already. And so those weapons are a huge deal, because that just makes the quarterback more comfortable. And so I think they've done a good job of going out and getting those guys and it definitely makes a big difference.
Can you speak on like in-game timing? Because after our first game in Nebraska, I know Nebraska's secondary was very talented. We've kind of seen that pan out over the past couple games as well. But I was speaking on like, it's hard to like know like how your guys are going to run like in-game speed versus different competition, even though you have all fall camp and spring ball. Like how are you able to kind of get on page with your receivers once the season started versus in the off season?
I think it just takes repetition and like comfort and trust. Like I remember my first game at Northwestern, like it was not very good. We weren't on the same page. I wasn't on the same page with my receivers. But kind of as the season goes and things start to click, then it's like, okay, like you're more confident and comfortable with how they're going to do things. And you kind of go back to all the spring practices and the reps in the summer and camp. And you kind of just go back to all that. And it always clicks eventually. And once it clicks, like it's scary because for me, it wasn't at Northwestern. It wasn't until like game 3 or 4 it started clicking, and it's like, okay, like now we go. For UC, it probably clicked at like game 2, and now it's like, okay, like here we go. So
yeah, because I thought you were a good example. Even though Sorsby's in his second year, like all his receivers, this is his first year with them.
yeah,
It's kind of similar to how those receivers were there before you got there, and you were kind of implanted into that offense. So I just wanted to hear your perspective on that. But one other thing I was thinking about is like now that it's Sorsby's second year in the offense, and how do the offensive coordinators or like Satterfield too in our cases, how do they look to like tailor like the play calling and like build their call sheet up like week to week, based on what they want to do versus like what you want to do? Is there like a collaboration effort between the quarterback and the play calling?
Yeah, I think any good quarterback, OC, head coach relationship, which obviously Satterfield calls the plays, so they have to have the best relationship, the most trust in each other. But any great relationship there means like they're bouncing ideas off each other every week. Sorsby's like, hey, when they're bringing cover 0, I don't want to throw a screen. I want to go quick game. Things like that, like, hey, I'm more comfortable on third and long, like running this play instead of this play, or we ran this play, we repped it this week, but I don't like it. So I don't want to run it. And Satterfield saying, okay, like that's fine. I don't want to put you in an uncomfortable position. That's huge. And hopefully they have that relationship. I don't know, but I'm assuming they probably do. Because you don't want to put your quarterback in an uncomfortable spot like that. So I think that's a huge difference maker. And I've been lucky to be around good OCs where I could kind of speak up and be like, hey, I don't like that play, or we repped it against the scout team and it's terrible. Like
the lawyers of the world were picking you apart.
Lawyer picked me off. Like you can't run this play in the game.
How does that evolve to like in-game decision making? Because I feel like Sorsby, we've noticed him be a lot more vocal as a leader this year. Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering, like, how does the quarterback kind of like work through the call sheet, like in the game? Like how do you think, or how did you, and versus how do you think Sorsby might be going about like, hey, I see this, or this is working, this is not. Like, what are those in-game adjustments like from the quarterback position?
I think it's just like those sideline conversations after every drive, like, hey, their corner's really playing inside leverage on this guy, or they're trying to man him up, or like we can really pick on that corner, like he's not all that, or something like that. It's just those little things that the quarterback will say to the OC, and they'll be like, okay, we got to go after that guy, or we got to run this play again. We'll get back to it. We'll set up this play for a double move, or things like that. I'm sure they're having great dialogue on the sideline just to figure out the defense's weaknesses. And things like that. So I guarantee you it's gotten better from last year, and that's probably a part of why they're being more successful this year, I'd say.
Yeah, it's crazy night and day. Like, just looking back on the Nebraska game, I feels like it was so long ago. It did seem like there was like a lot of like bubble screens and like long developing tight end screens and running back screens that just took forever, and all of a sudden it's like a 3-yard loss. Do you think that was something? I mean, they only had 69 passing yards in that
Mhm.
entire game, and 30 plus came on that final drive. Do you think that's something where they kind of said like, okay, we're going to completely turn the page on that because let's go downfield more, let's try and force it a bit, because Sorsby doesn't really force anything, but really seemed like there weren't too many downfield looks, and like Ryan said, probably a little bit to the Nebraska defensive backfield, but it seems like ever since then it's been a lot more pressure put on getting the ball downfield more.
Yeah, I think sometimes as play callers, sometimes a play caller can get a little too cute with like how they're trying to call a game and just try to get in like the perfect call for the perfect defense and overthink it. But sometimes you kind of have to go back on like just the basics, like just run down the field and throw it, or like let's run our just day one install plays that it could be like a two-way a read for the receiver. Like if he's pressed, just run a go. If he's off, run a hitch. Like just easy stuff like that where it's like pitch and catch. And I think in a game you may be struggling offensively, like that's kind of where you have to go. What I always like to do is go to tempo, because tempo is kind of like those types of plays where it's like you could do a one-word call and it's just a basic play that everyone knew. Like there was no questions asked. It's the formation, the protection, the route concept. And so sometimes just getting to things like that is like the easiest way to do it. So
what about like, so when in weeks when you were playing a team, kind of like piggybacking back on this Nebraska situation, weeks when you're like, all right, we're going against a stud defense, like their back end is, their secondary is lights out. What do you feel like most, like what you preferred and like your play callers preferred was like, hey, let's attack these guys. Let's not try to alter our system and like let's go be us, versus like maybe that's kind of what Satterfield was thinking in that game. Like, hey, like they're really good, so like let's try to like catch them off guard here with screens and little gadget kind of looks that are unconventional. And like, which one do you think is like the more recipe for success?
I think it just depends on the game. Like I said, like if things aren't working the way you game planned it, I always think it's good to just go back to the basics and run what you're good at. Because sometimes like those maybe newer installed plays, like people aren't doing their job right. Maybe one person's missing an assignment and it screws the whole play up. Like football is a team sport. If one person does the wrong thing, it could screw the whole play up. So I don't know. I think there's just a balance you got to have, which you got to run the plays you game plan for the week. But I think you also kind of have to get back to the basics at some point if things aren't working out.
Yeah.
You mentioned having gone on the tour through the new IPF with Royer and Alec, and we've heard Royer's side of it. We even heard Alec's side of it. But I'm curious to hear what your thoughts were going through the IPF and how jealous you are that you didn't have something like this in 2 different stints and as long as you were at Cincinnati.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so jealous. It would have been a perfect walk from our house on Jefferson.
Yeah.
Like, it was just no hills, just like right there.
Yeah.
It was unreal. I mean, holy crap. The amount of money they put into that thing, ridiculous. Yeah, I'm super jealous. I mean, they get like super nice meals and
that would be my favorite part.
all the toys and stuff they get there is absolutely crazy.
We get to have lunch in the cafeteria on Tuesdays before the weekly press conference, and they do Taco Tuesdays on Tuesdays, and they'll have like chicken and ground beef, and then every week they've got like a bonus couple weeks ago it was steak, carne asada. Last week it was barbacoa. They've got tortillas. You can do the bowls. They've got the rice and the beans and the cheese and the salsa. It's not quite peak Camp Higher Ground food because they make it healthy, but pretty good for having to eat there every day. They do seem like they mix it up and provide a good variety of stuff for the guys. Ben, you're a guy that you got dinged up a little bit in your career.
Yeah.
How good is Aaron Himmler? Like, take people through. I don't think people understand Aaron, Michelle, how good that staff is at getting you guys right.
Oh yeah, they are the absolute best. When I had my foot injury, I was pushing really hard to get back out there, and they understood that. And they did everything possible. They sent me to the best foot doctor in the country. Josh Wiley went to him too. So they got that all set up, which was so nice. And then they pushed my rehab process super quick. And I got out there and I was supposed to be, I think the recovery time was supposed to be 5 or 6 months, but I was out there in 3.5 practicing at spring ball, which was awesome. So me and Aaron always talk about that. He's like, fastest foot recovery time ever. I'm like, thanks to you guys.
We were told Ben is not Ben might be out there, throw a little one-on-ones or one on air, but Ben's not going to practice in the spring. And then the spring started, you trotted out with a helmet. I was like,
yeah,
you got a bionic foot?
Yeah, don't get me wrong. It was I was limping off the field a little bit some days.
But I didn't put that in the practice reports, but it wasn't easy all the time.
Yeah. But yeah, they're the best. I'm so thankful that I got to have my time with them, and Cincy's really lucky to have them for sure.
Best James Wiggins impression, just rehab ASAP. Get the heck back out there. But Ben, kind of take us through your college career a little bit. With the current landscape of college football, it seems a bit like it's more common for players to bounce around. But I mean, the fact that you came back to Cincinnati, it just credits to what Cincinnati meant to you. But as far as just the landscape of college football, the transfer portal, everything that goes into that, it seems like it's a little bit more common days to see someone do the same path that you did.
Yeah. I like to think my path was just a little bit different than a lot of these guys now, because mine didn't really have to do with money. Mine was more like the love of the game, the love of Cincy, wanting to be in Cincy, wanting to play, wanting to strive to play in the NFL. That was my ultimate goal, is to play in the NFL. And I wanted to do that through playing at Cincy, because I had such a good friend group there. I love the city. But yeah, my journey was definitely weird and unique, which it's pretty normal now. But I think it is different than a lot of guys now, because it didn't involve the millions of dollars that guys are getting now. And
would be nice to have.
Yeah, it was a couple of years too old, but no, I'm super thankful though for the path that I had, because it taught me a lot. I grew a lot from it, so I don't think I'd want it any other way. So
be honest, how mad were you when Dez said he was coming back for his senior year? Damn it, Dez!
Yeah, I kind of knew all along he was going to, but I kind of had that fantasy that he wasn't. But it's fine. Dez had my full support, so I wasn't mad at him. I would have done the same thing probably if I were in his shoes. So, and it worked out for everyone. So that was a great year. But I was sad I missed it. I was watching on TV.
Well, and slinging the rock at Eastern. But what's a most memorable game for you with the Bearcats?
Oh, most memorable
or moment?
Probably Indiana at home.
Oh, yeah.
We came out firing that first half. We didn't play so well that second half. We kind of
that first half though. Sheesh.
Yeah.
beat down.
That was a really fun one.
Fair.
That was probably the last time Nippert was rocking like that. Like big game, good team playing against a good team, and the Bearcats are doing well, going out and winning it. That's what I mean. And
The winning part is the main.
when you it also helps when Ben is doing it himself too. So
No, man, I had some good receivers out there. They were making plays.
Do you ever just try to outthrow Tyler and Trey? Like, damn it, I'm going to throw it far enough that they can't run under it.
I mean, I definitely did do that a couple times. Yeah. I mean, those guys are really fast. Trey's been killing it. I mean,
Yeah.
They've been really using him well. So I've been happy for him. And Tyler's on the Colts now with Alec, which is pretty cool. And
nice. I didn't see that.
Yeah. And Alex, hopefully he'll be healthy this week and play. He's had a really good start to the year, and Daniel Jones is killing it. So
Wow. Yeah.
His head must be all right. He's texting Drew and Branch making fun of the Bills jerseys last night. So get back out on that field.
Yeah.
Well, means that brain is working. Who's faster, Tyler or Trey?
Trey.
Okay. Yeah, because actually I was watching something because I mean obviously no one cares about your fantasy team, but I do have Trey on a couple of my teams, and I was watching some clips on Twitter, and some guy was like he was the fastest clocked speed in all of the NFL last year. So I was like,
Really?
well, okay.
Yeah.
He's always been that fast.
That
I don't know though, man. That those two were about as neck and neck as you could. Like, I think if you lined them up 10 times, it might be 6-4, Trey, but Tyler would get his wins. You line those two up in 110 times. I think they'd both be pretty damn close.
Yeah.
They were always going at it in the skills like sprints.
Yeah.
I remember that in the summer. It was
That was from high school. They were track rivals in high school.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
I was a couple hundred yards behind them, so it was hard for me to really tell how close they were.
Bro, you were so fast, Ryan. Come on, man. Don't sell yourself short.
Royer and I were in Group 8.
Yeah.
Big skill.
With the specialists, Case and Pfeiffer and Bryce breathing down our neck.
Golly.
Bryce was fast. Don't let Bryce fool you. He had a little speed to him.
Hell no.
I mean, a 55 yards and a touchdown in 2020. That's what Ben Bryant had in a game. So that's speed on that. That's
got it from there.
That's game speed, man.
Yeah,
I remember celebrating with you
fast
on the sideline after that. That was fun, man.
Yeah, I'll take it, I guess.
Did you run into a lot of familiar faces at Nippert Saturday? Everybody happy to see you back?
Yeah, I did.
Or were you incognito? Pull the hood up, drawstring.
Hey, I'm
He had
not.
his golf hat on.
Yeah, that sun. I didn't get sunburned like Will.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like the hat, tan line. No, yeah, it was good to see a lot of people. Just a bunch of like random people too that you would like not expect to run into, like guys on the baseball team or like guys that I was in class with, or just random people like that. So it's always fun to come back to the Bearcats and kind of just run into some random people like that.
Let's go back to
go again next Saturday. Then they got the Golden Knights at home.
Central, bring them in.
Ben, let's go back to that last spring. You and Emery were close. Seemed like you guys had a really good relationship. What was that? How tough was that decision to make to go back into the portal? And ultimately, it ended up great for you. Had an awesome year at Northwestern. But how tough was that to make that call? And what were your conversations with Satterfield like?
Yeah, it was super tough. It was annoying because like they never really made it. Like I was hoping they would name a starter at the end of spring, but they never did. And I was put in this like impossible situation where they brought a guy in and I could
You
kind
know
of
how that goes. You know the
Yeah.
logic of that. Like
Yeah.
it's a new staff. They bring in their guy. Like that's hard.
Yeah, and I felt like I had a really good spring ball. I felt like I pushed my foot really hard to like be out there and compete as hard as I could. And I felt like it was like still kind of like my team, but I don't know. I didn't want to. If I was on the sideline my senior year, like that would have just frustrated me so much. And like I said, my goal was to play in the NFL, and I couldn't do that if I was sitting on the sideline the whole year. So I had to make that decision, which is really hard. I didn't want to do it, just like I never wanted to leave Cincinnati in the first place. But it ended up working out really well, and I had a great opportunity at Northwestern and had a good end of my college career there. So I'm thankful for that.
What was it? Las Vegas Bowl MVP, right? You still got that trophy hanging around somewhere, or
yeah, it's somewhere.
wherever they gave you.
Yeah, it's over in my kitchen.
There we go now. There we go now.
With that nice house you bought from all your NIL money.
No, this is an apartment.
With that
nice apartment you rented from your NIL money.
So obviously you and Roy.
Sorsby said he gets to take all the guys out to Jeff Ruby's after every win. He takes his offensive lineman to Jeff Ruby's. Did you go to Steak and Lemonade? Is that where you took your offensive lineman after every win? Or
yeah, we'd go to like what's that place called? The Rusty Bucket over in Rookwood.
Can't beat the classic American pub food.
Yeah.
Do not upgrade to signature sides, please. All right.
Standard sides, fellas. Standard sides.
But no, Ben,
that Parmesan crusted mac and cheese is out.
Yeah, no chance. Absolutely, do not add chicken to that. Ben, you and Ryan were obviously on same teams coming up when the culture build was happening during Luke's era. And there were certain games along those early seasons where it was like, okay, this might be that little springboard feeling of like, okay, culture's kind of established, everyone's bought in. And that's kind of the vibe right now with this team after Saturday, and of course after the win against Kansas too. Can you kind of see that from afar looking in that, hey, it does kind of look like the team's bought in, like the players have this feeling that the success can continue, and just this 2-game stretch isn't just a flash in the pan.
Yeah, you could definitely see that the energy was there. I mean, I think nowadays more than ever with the portal and the money, like it's so hard to build that culture that, like you mentioned, that we had with Coach Fickle and all our boys. Like we were so close. Like Coach Brady put us through like hell and torture in the off season, but that brought us together like so well. And I know that Coach Nico does the same thing. Like he works those guys hard. So like you can tell that they've kind of built that throughout the off season, and definitely out there on the field, you could tell that they're just playing with high energy. They're playing for each other. So it was definitely cool to see. You could definitely see a different kind of feel out there from last year and the year before.
Roy, you kind of called that too. You're like, this it's got a different feel to it. I don't know.
Yeah,
so, it's good. It's good.
The wind
All
is
right,
in the
well,
yeah.
Let's get Benny out of here. I know he gave us a good 40 minutes, a good strong 40 minutes of his time. He's a busy guy, but we are super happy that you're back around, and even if it means hanging out with Royer, we're glad to see you back at Nippert, man. It was great to see you on Saturday.
Yeah, appreciate you guys having me. I'm sure I'll see you out there again.
I'll be down there on the field Saturday. Dap me up. I'll take you over to Cunningham to give you some. That we don't want the ushers messing with you. Give you a little protection down on the field. Mostly just Royer.
Yeah, just Royer.
Yeah. Who knows what kind of trouble? How many people are looking for him in that stadium every week? All right, man. Thanks, Benny. Appreciate it. And if they keep winning, we'll have you back on here as the season goes on.
Sweet.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right. Thanks,
See ya.
man. See you.
The absolute man.
Love Benny. Love Benny. Look, I don't think people know how much that dude bleeds red and black, Ryan.
Yeah.
Like, he made a couple tough decisions that he had to make for him as a, business decisions as a professional.
Yeah.
But that guy loves the Bearcats, like, with everything he's got.
Completely
He's not
true.
going to Northwestern games.
I don't know. I do want to see that new Northwestern Stadium one day. Whenever that gets unveiled, I'm sure that'd be a fun trip. But yeah, no, I mean, it like you were saying, you can't request a trade midway through your last season. I mean,
Right.
maybe you can in a couple of years, but no, he couldn't.
Right.
It would be
the final 6 game of the seasons. I'm gonna need to go somewhere else.
But do we want to timestamp that, and then we'll
we'll go ahead and timestamp. But that timestamp brought to you by Quick Paper Supply, your local and family-owned restaurant supply company for all your non-food products. Quick Paper services over 150 restaurants with weekly low minimum next day deliveries, providing a wide range of food service products from to-go containers, cups, custom printed products, eco-friendly, and much more. They also have cleaning and restroom supplies for all your janitorial needs. Call Nick 513-470-2029 and reference Bearcats for 20% off your first month of purchases.
It's awesome to have Ben Bryant on to get a little bit more of an offensive side of things, because I mean, Royer is a defensive genius and he does an unbelievable job breaking down the defensive side. But I mean, the way that this offense has been playing, especially I heard something that the second half of the Kansas game and the first half of the Iowa State game are like the two highest offensive efficient halves that Bearcats football has had in like 2 decades or a decade or something crazy like that. So offense is humming, and especially Brendan Sorsby. So let's do a quick game thought about what happened on Saturday, because it's a pretty memorable day. Obviously the biggest win of the Coach Scott Satterfield era. Crazy that he follows up the previous biggest win of the era with a new biggest win of the era. But man, won that 38-30 where it looked like it was going to be 60-14 at some point. But that phantom PI call, I hit a rewatch because, like I said, I'm up here in Michigan with little wedding activities and whatnot. So Royer, you were there, but I'm sure you have quite a lot of opinions on quite the performance that the offense had, and then of course that the team had, just being able to kind of, I don't know, not necessarily hold on, but just outlast any effort that Iowa State had at trying to stage a comeback.
Yeah. You mentioned the second half of Kansas following up right into this game. And I was thinking about it today, like comparing, what is the caliber of defense this offense has been going against the past couple of weeks. I think Iowa State was a better defense than Kansas, but then you have their 2 starting cornerbacks out. Mm-hmm. But then you just look. I mean, there was that last touchdown just blow by. I mean, maybe you could argue, hey, it might be nice to have my starting corner in there, but I didn't really feel like the offense was like piggybacking off of them having their 2 starters hurt, and especially with the run. They were just dominating them at the line of scrimmage and at contact. Like they were just. Tawi Walker just obliterating guys every run, falling forward. Evan Pryor breaking tackles. So, I would be curious to see how much different it would have been if they had their 2 starters in there. But Sorsby is just on the money with every throw. He's not making any mistakes. I think there were drives that got derailed. That touchdown. Called back lineman downfield, just kind of a mistake on our end. But I did feel like there were drives that there were some questionable calls. So I think the second half offense, was still doing well, even though the points weren't as substantial as they were in the first half. but we knew Iowa State was going to be able to find a way to move the ball. I was shocked looking up at the scoreboard, seeing the total yardage finding its way back to even at like 450 yards. But I still thought the defense played well. Especially that PI, that would have been another huge play, especially in the red zone. That wasn't a flag, so
Terrible call.
unbelievable.
Terrible.
That is one of the worst calls I've ever seen in my life. But yeah, they're playing like a team with confidence on both ends of the ball, and I like how they were able to. I think they made some adjustments and corrected a little bit of their one-on-one defense within the safeties and corners. You didn't see as much of the just kind of break-offs like we had with the Kansas receivers. So yeah, an incredible win, an incredible day in Nippert. The fans deserve that, and I think it's the product of a true build back from ground zero up, and you're really seeing the guys believing in the coaches believing in their players, putting them in the place, giving them the calls to make plays. So yeah, like I said last week, I haven't felt this, like, you feel something again, like you feel hope, and it's also like hope and confidence. Like I'm confident in this offense.
Crazy.
Yeah, and I have to kind of look ahead here to see the next couple 3 games, like what the defensive kind of stats are against who we're going against. I got to read up on the Golden Knights, but I think they're at a point now where they have Sorsby and they have the weapons, they have the run game that I don't think they're really going to just go out there and lay eggs like they did versus Nebraska. I think there's a cohesion now, and I think the defense is just going to kind of they're just going to be there. They're going to be consistent, and if they're consistent, I think our offense is going to have what it takes to keep willing us through some wins.
He's not getting talked about much, but I think my MVP for this game, especially defensively, is Christian Harrison. He changed what was happening on the back end of that defense. Being there in coverage on a couple third downs, getting 10 tackles. Like, that's what we've been talking about. They've been getting good play from the star. They have not been getting consistent play from their outside safeties. If that's Christian Harrison that we're going to get going forward, I feel so much better about this defense, Ryan.
Yeah, and all those stops were in man. It was like those 3rd and 7s, 4th and 7s, like those pass breakups, like that. It was like, all right, well, there's improvement, and that's what you want to see. So it's more confidence building.
Do you think it's any coincidence, though, that goes hand in hand with Jalen Hunt getting a little bit more pressure from that outside that we haven't seen? Because to me, that seems kind of to go hand in hand.
I agree with you. That is something I noticed as well, that the D-line seemed to have more depth into the pocket with their pass rush, really making Rocco kind of have to step up or either break a tackle or get sacked. And it also helps when you
having Dante Corleone back in the middle.
Because then now it's there's that guy grabs the attention of the first 3, the center 3 of the line.
Guards.
Yeah, so it's even if that guard is, even if there's not 3 guys on him, 1 and 2 are blocking him. The 3rd guy's looking, or vice versa. Like that 3-man little triangle, he's fucking it up every play, and then that just gives those DNs half a second longer, and that's the difference between quarterback stepping up at the pocket or quarterback getting sacked or him throwing the ball away. So very good point, Aaron.
I think it also, like, there's something to be said for, in the transfer portal era, it is sometimes going to take guys 3, 4, 5 games to find their fit, to figure out, okay, this is what this defense is asking of me. This is what I'm good at. they meet in the middle. And now Vite can say, okay, third downs, like we want Christian Harrison on in this assignment. Like we're using this that way now that we're getting a better feel.
Yeah.
We saw it with Golday last year. Like the first 3 games or so, it was like, and this guy's obviously a genetic freak, but it feels like he's
not making impact.
Exactly know what his assignment is, what his role is yet. And then, boy, by game 4, game 5, he took off because he got comfortable. The system adjusted to him. And then next thing you know, you've got an impact, all conference type guy. I'm not saying it's for sure going to happen with Christian Harrison, but I do think like this is a great sign for the back end of this defense if all of a sudden they now have 2 spots that are playing at a very high level at safety.
Yeah, and you don't just pop off like that in a game just out of luck. It's like
Right.
That's his capability. It's just, Ben mentioned it, like football is a team sport, and that means like everyone has to be on the same page, meaning everyone has to be, comfortable, have reps under their belt. Like it's so important. Like practice reps are super, super important, but you can't coach game experience, just comfortability. It makes it a lot more difficult. Like we mentioned, you have coaches who are having to get more game comfortability with their players, and their players having to get more game comfortable in their assignments and in their execution. And it's similar to how we've seen with the offense. Like, Cyrus Allen, he is our go-to guy to get the ball to in intermediate route concepts and big downs where it's 3rd and 7. Hey, let's coaches recognize now, let's put him in a formation in the slot where we know we're going to have him in a soft coverage one-on-one where we can just let him go get open. And same thing for the safety position, same thing for the defensive end position. When you have players who are getting more comfortable, the coaches recognize it, and then they can then cater their call sheet to their strengths. And I think you're seeing that happen on offense. And I think the offense will always come. It always tends to come a little bit quicker, like for guys, than it does on the defensive side of the ball. It's just kind of the dynamics of playing offense and versus like you're always kind of like on an island on defense, and you're always like having to react off someone is always going to be more difficult than, running the route or, trying to make a guy miss. So I think you're going to see the defense continue to get more comfortable as they get more reps, which is encouraging that it hasn't killed them yet. And they're going out and making plays, and it's only going to improve.
Well, when you have, go ahead.
I was going to say, I also want to talk. Do you want to make one more point about defense? I want
to. I was going to say, when you have Golday as well, who, got back on that tackling spree, I still feel so bad for him with that Northwestern State game. Is just murders his ability to have any shot at leading the country in tackles. But I mean, him making those plays, he got Senior Bowl Defensive Player of the Week. He's consistently getting Big 12, Defensive Player of the Week. Just the ability to have a difference maker at all 3 levels is going to be increasingly important. Even though they gave up 470 yards, it did seem like they were flying around a little bit more, kind of like similar to that Nebraska game that they had. They were laying the wood, definitely. That Simeon Coleman hit was just, geez, Pete's. But yeah,
I thought it killed him.
It was unbelievable. But yeah, it's just refreshing to see them kind of hitting, even if they are giving up the amount of yardage and points. So go ahead, Jed.
There's been a lot of talk about the offensive line, rightfully so. They've been incredible. Here's maybe the stat that I love the most. Highest average yards before contact per attempt. Cincinnati's getting 1.59 yards before contact on every rushing plays. Ryan, how frustrating is that for a defense when a team is just punishing you and pushing you back, and you're not able to get to their guy until they're 2 yards downfield?
Yeah, and you coupling that with a guy like Tawi Walker, who I think is one of the best yards after contact running backs in the country, and I think we were given a full display of that this week at Iowa State. That makes it nearly impossible for the defense to ever have an edge. So if you're running the ball 30 to 40 times like the Bearcats like to do, and their running back is getting 2 yards through the line of scrimmage, I mean, it's the chances of you tackling Tawi Walker at impact, him going down, is probably 5%. So that's a 3 yards plus every run attempt. If Ben was still on here, if you said, "Hey Ben, you're going to be at 2nd and 6, 2nd and 5, very frequently. Talk to us about how much easier that makes getting a first down and what kind of calls." And not only does it make it easier getting a first down, but 2nd and 5 is 2nd and 5, middle of the field. Yeah, it's shot city, so it's the chances for explosive plays go up significantly when you stay in front of the chains, and when you get right around that 6 to 5 mark is great, because there's getting, like Ben was talking about with the 5-yard hitch, quick game concept. Like, there's so much soft cut. Teams aren't going to like come up and do, like, unless you were kind of like us when you had Sauce, Kobe, B. Cook. Like, you could have 3 guys like around 5 yards and in playing man. Yeah, 4 guys. So that's an enigma. So that you're not going to see that. So that just opens up and puts the defense in such hard spot to get off the field. So that offensive line, I mean, that's why I was like, well, maybe it doesn't feel as good when both of their starting cornerbacks are out, but like, just seeing the absolute I was like, just run the ball. Like, I thought they should have ran the ball like 75% of the time in the second half. Just like make them stop it. And even if they were tackle, even if they like hit Tawi at the line of scrimmage, the way he was running, I mean, he was going to get 3 yards no matter what. And I loved it. It was just like, it was fuck you football from the offense. It was fuck you, we're going to run you over, and it was fuck you, we're going to dunk the ball over your head now. So
it's playing with the damn edge is what they were doing.
Dude, and that's Iowa State is, their bread and butter is like hard-nosed defense, playing hard, physical. Even though they're in a 3-3-5, I mean, they always got guys, like their linebackers are always really good. They always have good size safeties that come down and hit shit. So just seeing us like just say, like, you just saw from the jump that like we thought we were the better team and we're gonna go put it on these guys, and they did literally from the kickoff. So I was so proud of the boys, just seeing their growth and like going out there and like putting it on the Cyclones, they've been a staple in the Big 12 for a long time now, and just going out and giving it to them. So very, very, very fun.
Your thoughts on the Bearcats' physicality on both sides of the ball in person, to kind of continue on that?
I mean, there was at least, I'd say six plays where it was like, holy shit. Like, just everyone just get like, I like got up out of my seat, just like they were hits. I was like, oh, I felt like I was on the sideline. Like, you could like just feel it, the presence of the contact. And I don't, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, I don't remember there being like that much just bone crushing, just destructive football since like Fickle time. So the boys were humming, and their ears were pinned back, and it was a sight to see. And that's like the best part about, like, everyone loves like you don't get to see a lot of that physicality as much in the game anymore. It's a lot of like the oohs and ahs are always like big explosive plays, but see explosive plays like on the defensive side when you're just crushing the quarterback, even though it was a flag, or like Tawi Walker just absolutely truck sticking dudes on the way to explosive runs. It was refreshing, and it was awesome.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
They
It's not really been a running back like that since probably Mike Warren.
Corey Kiner had some good, but I mean, the
Not like
actual
but
that
no,
was
Corey was contact balance, right? He absorbed big hits and kept going.
yeah.
Like it wasn't like running people over. It was like you could hit Corey as hard as you wanted, and there's a pretty good chance he wasn't going down. Like he was still going to keep his legs moving and go forward. Tawi is looking to make a highlight reel out of you.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen two like truck sticks like that in a game from the same running back. Maybe I'm trying to think
On the
about
same
ever in my
defender.
I don't even think I've ever seen someone truck a linebacker that hard in my life, playing or watching. I don't know. Have you guys?
I have.
Not really.
I mean,
He flew
Marshawn
back
Lynch,
2 yards. 2 yards. I mean,
Derrick
6
Henry.
feet is 6 feet is a long way to fly back.
But like those are like stiff arms where like most running backs are able to get someone to like fly back. This is just like lower the freaking shoulder.
I mean,
I love that shit, man.
I said this on I was on Big 12 radio on Sirius XM this morning.
Humble brag.
And I humble brag. 10 years from now, those are going to be on video highlights that they play at Nippert Stadium.
Right.
Yeah.
Like those two, especially the one, we are going to be seeing that for a decade, 20 years. Like 20 years from now, they're still going to be showing like the Melvin Levitt dunk and like the Kenyon Martin block shot, the Sauce Gardner pick six. Like we are going to be watching Tyree Walker run over the dude from Iowa State when Ryan is approaching 40.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, that's in 20 years, so that'd be fun to look back at. The other thing is this too, is like, so I was, not there, not like extremely locked in the game because of just whatever, but that was just going viral on Twitter. You just refresh Twitter and every single account, not even Bearcat affiliated, was grabbing it and just pushing it out there. So yeah, that was one of those moments where it's just like, whoa, okay. This team means business. I mean, you couple that with obviously that the flags were the flags and whatever, but the hits on both sides of the ball were by the Bearcats were something that was definitely fun to see. Because you don't want to be the one receiving those hits.
I mean, Tawi did that to one of our DBs at Oklahoma, and Scatabo did that to one of our DBs last year. So
Scatabo comes to mind. He did that to DBs every week. He was running straight running somebody over. Two things: is Coleman suspended? No. So think of it like this: it's a 1/2 suspension from the end of the half that you were ejected. Mm-hmm. So he was ejected in the first half, served his suspension in the second half. He will be full go against UCF on Saturday. Thoughts on the two targeting calls? The one was obviously bad. They took it away. The Coleman one, I don't know what else he's supposed to do. Like,
I didn't even see it. Did he hit him in the chin strap?
He caught him in the chin. He caught him in the chin, but he had already launched before Rocco Beck tucks down. And when Rocco Beck tucks down, that's why he gets hit in the chin.
The problem is probably the launch. Like, he did launch himself.
But if you're launching with your shoulder and somebody goes down, I don't know what you're supposed to do.
Also, the sheer violence of it.
Yeah, it's violent. Yeah,
it was like one. It was a violent hit.
And they're going to go back and they're going to look at it on tape. And the crown of the helmet did hit him in the chin. Yeah, it's going to get called. Like, I agree with you, Aaron. By letter of law, yes, it's targeting. The answer is you're not supposed to launch, even if it's with your shoulder. Like, you're not supposed to duck your head and launch towards a guy because you could end up hitting him with the crown of your helmet in his face. It's stupid. I don't like it, but that's the rule. And it was incredibly violent. I am shocked he came back into that game, especially one play. Like, there's Ryan. Can you get concussion protocol done in one play? He was
Depends
out
on
one
how
play.
depends on how much the doctor really wants you back in the game.
So the answer is no.
Follow
You cannot
my
do concussion
finger. Follow my
protocol.
finger. Sniff the salt. Go.
Sometimes as bad as those hits look, it doesn't make any sense. Like you can get absolutely clobbered and you're fine. And then there's times where like you just get tackled and you just bang your head on the ground kind of hard on a whiplash, and you're like you get up and you're like seeing stars. It is.
Like
It does
Royer
happen.
last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, Royer bounced his head off the turf and knocked him out for the rest of the game. But I mean, I get it. I don't like it. I don't think it should be targeting what happened on Simeon. But by the rule, he launched into the guy's chin with his helmet. It's gonna get called.
I think they should get rid of the suspension unless it's so clearly egregious. Then they should just review it with the league, and then it's like, all right, if this guy was like, it's so obvious, then the league can drop a suspension, on Sunday or Monday. But like, if you think about it, like these guys only get, guaranteed 12 opportunities of, a lot of them don't play football again. So I think I don't love the idea of suspending these players.
Well, did you know? I did not know this. Did you know 3 of them gets a full game suspension? If you have 3 targeting calls in a season, you sit out. On your third one, you're ejected, and then the next game, you're out. So something like that could come into play later in the year on a bang play. Aaron, I'm with you. I don't think Simeon Coleman had any intention.
Well, and I guess that's where it gets really muddy, is if you're trying to decide his intent. Like then it's completely subjective, and who knows what any league is going to say. Well, he was definitely intentionally doing.
I think it's some of those times where you see it in. I think you see it. You don't see it as much in the NFL now, but you used to. Where like the DNs, like when they're going up to like this, and they kind of like jump into the quarterback with their face mask and like, obviously trying to like hit him in the head to like, mess him up a little bit without like tackling him to the ground. I think stuff like that, where it's like, all right, these guys are like, there's a clear intention of, hey, he's trying to like just rattle this guy up. Because even like the biggest hits that you see happen are the ones across the middle or on the sidelines with the safeties coming over for the kill shots. Like even then, like those guys, like once the receivers' hands go up, they aren't even like, if they're not making a play on the ball, they have no idea what's happening. They have no clue where that receiver is going to end up. All they know, you essentially just close your eyes at the moment of impact, and whatever you hit, you hit. Obviously, you can be taught, hey, aim for the chest and lower.
You got to keep your chin up.
Yeah,
you got to keep that crown from dropping, and that's where you get in trouble. That's where I think Simeon Coleman got in trouble. As he did, you could see he was anticipating a knockout shot, and he was aiming for an area he thought was going to be clear, but then Beck ducks his head down to absorb the contact, and it becomes a targeting. Like that, it sucks. But yeah.
I think the violent looking nature of it too, like
that's always going to draw the flag.
Immediately was going to be like, oh, especially against opposing quarterback too.
I like to imagine the Iowa State blue tent was like the whiteboard and Usual Suspects that had all the clues all around for Rocco to piece together his name while concussed. Rock cheering his back out. You're incredible, Thrifty.
He's amazing.
You're incredible.
Great to see you at Cobble Rocks. Great guy. Anyway, so I'm going to list off a few stats, and I think through 5 games, I think it's okay to kind of start to be like, okay, these stats mean something now. That's not just poop on a piece of paper. So let's I want you guys to tell me what you think is the most impressive one or the most surprising one, especially based off of either the way this year started or what we've seen so far over the last 3 seasons. Because they're all pretty damn impressive up to this point. First, I love the special teams. Obviously, they Aaron always sings their praises. They call them, he says they're not just teams now, they're special. I think, Aaron, that's one of your funnier things that you say, and you always do a good job saying it again. So Stephen Rustick, he's one of 17 teams in college football to be perfect from field goals, but I think for him, it stretches back into last year as well. And
18
I
in
don't
a
know if
row.
he's up to, 19 in a row. So impressive. One of 9 teams in college football to be perfect in the red zone. I mean, think about how dreadful the trips to the red zone were a couple years ago. Only Oregon and Memphis have more touchdowns in the red zone than the Bearcats do.
That's really hard to do too. Red zone touchdowns are hard.
Very much so.
I think that goes to the number of weapons, right, Ryan? Like red
and
zone
legs.
And Sorsby's leg, but that counts as the number of things as a defense. You got to stop Cyrus Allen. You got to stop Joe Royer. You got to stop the running backs. You got to stop Sorsby from escaping the pocket and taking it in for a touchdown. You got to stop Sorsby on design running plays. You got to stop the fade to Caldwell or the fade to Jennings. Like there's so many things right now, the way that this offense is clicking, that the red zone is not a detriment, right? Because normally you get into the red zone, you've got less space. The safeties are closer. The corners can play a little bit tighter. And now teams are looking at this Cincinnati offense and going, what do we vote? Like, we almost have to just go man up on everybody, or else they're going to find the weakness and pick us apart, because they've got so many ways to be a threat from 20, 15, 10 yards in.
Yeah, and I think the Bearcats should stick with the recipe of run the ball until they make you stop it, and that also means incorporating Sorsby in a run option, and then that really opens up I think the biggest weapons is Joe Royer having a tight end. That's a matchup problem, because they're going to look to do some sort of man concept, and Cyrus Allen. Those are our two. Sorsby's the matchup size issue with either a safety or a linebacker. And then Cyrus Allen is just our best get open guy. So I think the more we lean on that run game, lean on Sorsby's legs, that's just going to tighten the defense down, give just a little bit more space to guys like Royer and Cyrus. And space is the name of the game in the red zone, like you said, Chad. Everything's tight and condensed. That extra half step means the world. So, like you said, the 1.59 before contact, it gets a little bit harder in the red zone, yes, but if they can keep leaning on that and staying in front of the sticks, getting that down, running the ball, getting Sorsby on some either quarterback leads or quarterback options, I think that red zone success is gonna keep trending in the right direction.
And as Jeremy Cotton in the chat says, O-line dominates, and he might be biased, but you know what? He's also telling the truth. So yes, absolutely, O-line has been dominating. To go hand in hand with
what are you biased about, Jeremy? What might be your bias in this situation? I don't understand.
I know we have a beast on that line with the last name Cotton as well, but still
right,
hand in hand with that.
Thanks, Brent.
It was sarcasm.
I'm just having fun. Anyway, to go hand in hand with that, still only Oregon, Navy, and Cincinnati are the 3 teams in the country allowing only 1 sack on the season. And gosh, that sack Kansas had, that was kind of like a rollout play. The guy, the defensive line was pretty much untouched. Anyway, whatever. They are 11th in the country with 34 plays of 20-plus yards. If you remember, we were beating our drum about the lack of explosive plays. Well, pretty damn good right now.
We're getting them. We're getting them in the run and pass, like balance on explosives, not just balance on, but they're top 3 in the country in yards per play. Like they're just efficient and effective, and defenses are kind of tied up in knots trying to figure out what to do to stop these guys right now. It's been a lot of fun to watch, man. It's been a lot of fun to watch, and it's been a lot of fun to watch defenses trying to figure out if it's Tawi Walker or if it's Evan Pryor. Are they going to run you over, or are they going to run right past your ear hole into the end zone for a touchdown? Because they've got both, and it has been a heck of a 1-2 punch, a heck of a 1-2 punch.
Absolutely. Second in the country in yards per play, 8.05 yards per play, only behind USC, and they have been lighting it up this year. And then last but not least, a little bit more Sorsby talk. So follow me here a little bit. I took out the two outlier games. That's Nebraska and Northwestern State. He would be third in the country, averaging 311.7 those other three games, behind Sawyer Robinson and Jade Maeva from that USC. And then Bearcats are one of 19 teams in the country with one or less interceptions, and only Alabama and Indiana have more passing touchdowns than the Bearcats do on the year, and also only one interception or less. So that is efficiency at its finest, and you put that all together, and you got yourself a 4-1 ball club looking to see if they can't string together a few more here. And you know what? The one superlative that you all thought was probably not going to happen, take care of business either this weekend or the next 2 weekends, and I think they'll top 25 for the first time under the Coach Scott Satterfield era will surely happen. So,
look, here's the important thing, though.
Yeah,
you got to get through these next two. Like
Yeah.
you can't let your foot off the gas. These are the two most now. These are the two most important games of the season. If you can get to 4-0 in this league and get to the end of October, into November, yes, the last 5 games are tough.
Yep.
But if you can get to 4-0 now and force the issue and continue to put your best foot forward, you can contend for a spot in Dallas.
Yep.
Because I with 2 losses in the league, Texas Tech might go undefeated.
Yeah.
But you're still probably going to be in the mix with 2 losses to play in Dallas.
Yeah.
If you can go 3-2 in the final 5, you're in the mix for the conference championship game.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot get to that point and need to go 4-1 if you're gonna contend for a conference championship, because it's a brutal stretch. BYU is good, Utah is good, TCU is good, Arizona has been better than expected, Baylor is good. Like, you have got to get these two. You cannot. You're better than UCF. You're better than Oklahoma State. There cannot be an exhale because you beat Kansas and Iowa State. That's the beginning of the road. You're just at the start of the yellow brick road. You're not at the end of the yellow brick road. These are the 2 most important games of the season because they're the 2 games left that Cincinnati decidedly should win.
Yeah.
You have to win both of these games and get to 4-0. You have to.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, believe me, the amount of conversations around 1 a.m. on Sunday morning that I was having with my gambling friends about, listen, take a look at the rest of their schedule. They get the odds now. So, yes, Chad, I completely agree, because those odds will only lessen after the next 2 weeks if they take care of business. So, let's go ahead and timestamp this. Obviously, Central coming up later this week. Chad and Dave will dive into it. I don't think we have it in us for a 4-hour podcast tonight, so we aren't going to really break down those Knights of Gold. So let's riff.
Quick Paper, your local and family-owned restaurant supply company for all your non-food products. They provide mostly disposable restaurant supplies, to-go containers, cups, pizza boxes, to-go bags, can liners, napkins. They've been open since 2009, are one of the largest minority-owned companies in the city. Call Nick 513-470-2029 and reference Bearcats for 20% off your first month of purchases.
Boom.
All right. So take out the conference championship game of 2021. Where does this win at home rank for you guys since Luke Fickell became the head coach?
It's way up there. I mean, it's the highest ranked win at Nippert since Rutgers in 2006.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's way up there. I think the Sauce UCF game was probably, it was a nip at night, which gave it just extra juice, extra energy, extra fire. I would probably, since the start of the Fickle era, if we take out the AAC championship game, I would say that Sauce game against UCF, because it was right at the end of UCF's run. It kind of put it into UCF's run at that point.
Mhm.
It gave us Sauce Gardner. That was an electric atmosphere, nip at night.
Wasn't Midnight Madness right after that as well?
Yes.
Yeah, there was.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was probably the standard bearer since the start of the Fickle era. This was right behind it. I mean, that place was Aaron and I were down there when that Logan Wilson penalty happened. If the ref blew the whistle, there was no chance anybody heard it. It was loud down there Saturday.
Yeah, I'm sad I missed it. But yeah, I mean the only other ones that are like up there, like I mean what we mentioned Ben Bryant against Indiana. That was a fun game, but still, not up to this caliber. I didn't beat Oklahoma when Big Noon Kickoff was here. That would have been something. I mean, what the Tulsa game when College Game Day was here?
The game day one. Okay,
yeah.
Arizona State lost some of that luster because you didn't have
Sam Levitt was out.
And
they weren't really anything at that point. It was
Arizona State had not made their push yet.
Yeah, they were kind of stumbling in. I mean, it's this and UCF those are 1A, 1B. But yeah, just a nip at night atmosphere, and then when you have like Brent Young added into the building as well, it just kind of just makes things even next level. So I think
for Brent Young,
the lack of a Brent Young in the building kind of,
it's so different at night. It really is. It's so different at night.
The stripe looked great on TV though. I will say
it was great.
Yeah.
I bet that would look even better under the lights too.
Right. Exactly. Aaron, are you kind of up there?
By the way, those red helmets are electric.
Yeah, they are nice.
I didn't think I was going to be anywhere near as impressed as I have been with them in real life. Like seeing them on camera, they were all right, and I'm like, oh, those look fantastic. Like they do match the pants like ridiculously, and
so much better than the red matte, the matte finish on the red.
I'm a huge matte fan, and I did not expect to like these better than the matte finish, and I definitely do.
The reds, they almost bling, like they almost have like a jewelry effect to them. The color, it's outstanding. Whoever did that color, well done. It's fucking great.
Yeah,
I love red, black, red too, Matt. It's a great combo.
Yeah. All right, boys. Now sitting at 4-1. I'm putting the line at 7.5 wins. What are you taking?
Over.
I got the over.
Way over.
All right. How much convincing is
it at 8.5?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. How much convincing is 9 versus 8? Where are you at now with that? Because I remember, Aaron, you were the only one who had 9. I'm pretty sure when we first started.
Well, I said 9, and I said their ceiling was 10 and 2, and I still stand by that, especially now.
We all thought you were nuts. Well done.
Yeah, I did.
That has nothing to do with my prediction.
Yeah, I mean the crazy thing is last year we started 5-2, but this just has a completely different feel to it. I don't know. I just think it's just those weapons on offense are just like Ben said, they are fast and they're big. Like when you have that sort of like high level talent, then you add in an offensive line who has dominated by stats and figures. Offense is churning. Defense, you just got to keep up. So I mean, I'm over 8.
I think right now 8 is where I'm comfortable for now.
Be 4-3 to finish out. You'd think they'd win the next 2 games.
Yeah,
meaning they'd have to go. They'd have to lose 3 out of. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, get me through these next 2, and I'm going to bump it up to 9. But right now, I'm comfortable at 8, and then I'll continue to adjust as we go on the fly.
I also,
You've got to. That's my worry with a team that hasn't had a lot of success in that locker room. We've seen teams come out flat. I'm not saying I think they're going to come out flat. I'm just saying we have seen this before where they did what they set out to do. They opened 2-0 with tough games at Kansas, against Iowa State. Central Florida, I don't think is good, but they're not a pushover. They have a really good defense, an outstanding defensive line that's going to be problems for Cincinnati's offensive front. Part of the reason Cincinnati has been so dominant is because the offensive line has been so good. They're going to get a big test against UCF on Saturday. So it's just a matter of, I want to see them take care of business these next 2 weeks. And if they take care of business these next 2 weeks, then yeah, I think 9 is on the table. 10 is on the table at that point, because now you got a team that's at the home stretch. They're on the back end, and they've played. The proof of concept is there, right, Ryan? The belief is there that we can beat anybody in this league, and they don't play Texas Tech.
Yeah. If they
Get
win
me
10
through these
games,
two.
they will be playing for a chance at playoff, which is insane to think about.
And even more insane, I hate to say it, if they finish that final drive against Nebraska, they're probably knocking on the top 10 door right now, which is
Maybe
hindsight 2020. But hey, keep winning.
Yep.
Yeah.
You mentioned how good we've been raving about the O-line this whole year now, especially after this game, just the dominance. Are any of you willing to go out on a limb and predict a Cincinnati offensive line winning the top offensive line trophy in the country?
It's up there, man. It's they're in the conversation.
Yeah.
They have to be.
You have to be.
The
You have to
numbers
be.
say they
Yeah.
have to be in the conversation.
Yeah. I mean, Oregon's
Do you
dominant.
think they close it out?
I like, but I'm with Brent there. Like Oregon's O-line, Miami's O-line
Yeah.
have been elite.
Right.
So I don't know if Cincinnati
USC
can
was
pass
good,
them.
but they just lost their center, I think, for the year. So I mean,
I don't know if they can pass those two, Ryan.
Yeah.
But if there's a finalist group right now, Cincinnati's in it.
have to be. Yeah.
Unfortunately, you also wonder if it's going to be a ding against Cincinnati, because they don't traditionally have something like that where an offensive lineman excels to that level. Just not for comparatively to the Ohio States
not
or the Oregons or the
an O-line school.
Mhm.
sure, yeah,
Like,
for lack of a better term,
tight
yeah.
end U or wide receiver U.
Yeah.
Cincinnati's not seen as a team that just churns out NFL O linemen, or
Right.
So I agree with you there. That could hurt them. The numbers are hard to escape, though. What they're doing on the ground, what they're doing per play, what the passing game is doing, that all dials back to an offensive line that is unique in the fact that they're very, very good in both phases.
Yeah.
They're really good run blocking. They're really good pass blocking. Usually really good at one, not as good at the other, right? Like that's generally an O-line MO. They're better at one than the other. I don't know. Ryan, would you say they're better at one than the other? Maybe I'd give the edge to run blocking, but they've allowed 1 sack on the season.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's hard to go against that. Yeah. And I mean, Sorsby's numbers also in the,
Yeah.
when you're throwing that many yards, it's going to make you think, well, he's definitely having the time to throw and the area to throw it.
I mean, he sat back there against Iowa State a couple times and was just like, okay.
It's a beautiful sight.
It is.
Got to keep it rolling.
Unless you're playing defense.
Yes. Then it's a night.
Brian, Brian, you got that one more?
You know how we do it, Brent. Come on.
I know, bro.
Get it rolling.
So you were texting me saying, "Hey, bro, can you sit in the stands with me in this game? I want to rush the field with you afterwards, and hold your hand and have fun." I said, man, I wish I'm just not here. I'm at a wedding. And you said, oh gosh, are you a big dancer? I said, yeah, man. You said, what's the one song you hope they play to really get your juices flowing? Really get you out there, get you grooving. And I said, whoa. Let's ask this on the BBP. Let's have a little mini discussion. And let's make this mini discussion quick because we have a full entire mailbag that we have to get through as well. And so you said, yeah, I like that idea. Let's do that on the BBP. So a wedding. You're at a wedding. What's the one song that you hear that's like, okay, time to get my little booty out there on the dance floor. Get a little dance in it. Take it away, guys.
I love Mr. Brightside, but it's not a dance song.
Okay, but still, that's the same vibe. Like, what gets you hype? What gets you out there and going? Okay,
Freak a League.
Oh, wow.
Back that ass up. Anytime you hear back that ass up, like for my generation.
Oh, it's going down.
Boom, boom.
Cash Money Records is coming at you for the 99 and the 2000.
Have you seen that TikTok trend that it's all people from my age and they'll play the because there's like 19 seconds before it hits.
I'm lumped in there. Yeah.
And so like you got 19 seconds to get from the bathroom to the dance floor.
Yep.
Before before the beat drops. Hilarious. I'll go back that ass up. That one, everybody of a certain age, when they hear that first 3 notes of that hit is like, all right, I guess we gotta go.
Fair.
I like the wobble.
Wobble,
baby, wobble, baby, wobble. Get in there. Yeah.
No. Okay, fair. Yeah, I mean, all those are great. Shout really gets the crowd going.
Yeah,
you real down there, get real low. I have a really good Shaggy voice, so like Shaggy Angel. Sometimes I perform with the band or with the DJ, whoever's there on site. So, Shaggy Angel really gets the crowd going. They're like, dang, So yeah. I think kind of any of those, anything to really bring out the excitement and get the crowd going. Agreed.
By the way,
another wedding this weekend. So yeah, go
ahead. This, according to Jared, O-line might win Sorsby a Heisman. We don't mention them really often here because we're a competing network. But I saw another outlet out there had Sorsby at 10th.
Yes.
In the Heisman race.
I just wonder why Keegan wouldn't put his name on his ceiling is Heisman. He had the opportunity. He had the opportunity.
He could have redeemed himself from Emory Jones and put his belief in Brendan Sorsby being a contender for the Heisman, and he chickened out.
Man, the amount of pub he's getting on Twitter these days. What PFF still has him as the highest rated quarterback in the entire college football slate. So I mean, hey, keep on going. He's got 3 great chances coming up to kind of keep propelling those numbers, especially Oklahoma State. And I don't want to jinx anything, knocking on wood, but they are the lowest Big 12 team as far as passing yards given up a game, and they are one that it would be interesting if that happens in a couple weeks. But hey, it starts this weekend. Keep it rolling.
Yeah.
All right, let's timestamp, let's mailbag, and let's do it.
Quick Paper, your local and family-owned restaurant supply company for all your non-food products. Quick Paper services over 150 restaurants with weekly low minimum next-day deliveries. They provide a wide range of food service products from to-go containers, cups, custom printed products, eco-friendly, and much more. They also have cleaning and restroom supplies for all your janitorial needs. Call Nick 513-470-2029 and reference Bearcats for 20% off your first month of purchases. Also, just want to say, I think we have filled up almost all of our advertising spots for this season. Riffin' with Royer is still available, and we still have 1 spot open on the brunch. So if you're interested, if you've got a business, you want to do some advertising with the number 1 outlet for UC coverage in the market, hit me up. You can email me, lastname.firstname@gmail.com. You can DM me.
I'm sure we could find a segment for you on the aftermath as well.
We also, we could. There are. I'm just saying in terms of like the the normal spots. But yes,
Right.
you want to sponsor the Aftermath, we can find a spot for you on there as well. So
And if you want to call Chad, here is his personal cell phone number. Get a paper and
I
pen
am
ready.
not Anthony DePino. Don't do
That
that.
was wild.
That
That
was-
was wild.
That was crazy.
I did want to mention real fast, and Chad, I know you already covered this a bunch, but Cincinnati basketball did pick up a commit from Caden Allen, 2026 small forward. Anything real fast on furthermore on him, or just go back and read the content and watch.
I mean,
the video.
he's a legit, 6'5" scorer on the wing. Does play. His body doesn't remind me of Jaron, but like the way he's effective reminds me some of Jaron Cumberland.
Yeah,
plays well with the ball in his hands. Can be a little ball dominant at times. You're gonna want to get that a little bit under control as he gets into the Big 12 level.
Mhm.
But 3-level scorer. Had a really good summer, dipped a little bit, had a little bit of a down high school season last year, but really turned it on at the end of the summer.
One of the top scorers in the EYBL, if I'm not mistaken.
He was the top scorer in the EYBL for Peach Jam week. 21, 22 points a game.
Mhm.
He's one of those guys. I don't know where he necessarily projects as like an NBA prospect, but he's going to be an excellent scorer in college. Like he's just wired to get to the rim. He's got a good mid-range. He can hit the three. He's what you really want to develop in your program, because I think he's going to be in college for a couple years. I think he's going to have an opportunity to be a high level scoring wing in the Big 12 as his career progresses. So it's one of those things. Aaron and I have talked about it a lot. It's one of those things that I think Wes has kind of not been able to make happen, is that Jaron SK type scorer on the wing. I think Sean Abayev has a chance to do that. We'll talk about that here a little bit in the mailbag. And I think Caden Allen can really be a guy that can come into college and be a bucket getter for what you need.
There we go. All right. Now shout Greg Hooden and let's hop in this mailbag.
Greg Hooden. You can find him Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, at Cincy Greg Hooden, HOODIN. He works at Beachmont Toyota. He's there every day. So go see Greg if you're looking for a new or pre-owned Toyota. Tell him that you're a member of the Bearcat family. Tell him that BCJ and the BBP and Brent Young specifically sent you, and he will get you taken care of with the finest new and used Toyota options on the market. That is you, Greg. Hi, Greg.
All right, let's get going in this Greg Hooden mailbag. Starting off in the football portion of the mailbag with a guy I went to high school with. UC had a lot of recruits on campus. I'm guessing the game overall went over pretty well in that regard. Did you receive any non-specific feedback that you can share?
I mean, the large majority of kids that were there were 27 and 28. So this is something that can pay big dividends into the spring, into the summer. There's not a lot of commitment that's going to be happening at this point, because all these kids are still in their high school season. Like they're going on unofficial visits, but they're not really in, unless, somebody just instantly is like, I'm shutting it down. That's not really what happens around this time of year. But I can tell you this, there's a couple articles up on the board from Alan True and the 24/7 team. A lot of guys really, really impressed with everything that went on Saturday, the atmosphere, the coaching staff, the energy of the team, the way that the team played. It was a big, big, big recruiting event for Cincinnati that, what's a good way to put this? It's not picking season, right? We're not harvesting commitments at this point in time. You're planting seeds and letting the tree grow at this point in time. And then for 27, you hope that you're going to get the apples. You're going to the apple orchard to get the apples in the spring and in the summer for these guys when it comes time for them to make their decisions.
That's so backwards because out here in the sticks, it's harvest season. I'm telling you what.
I know. It's
Man.
not harvest season in football. It's the opposite.
Drove through like 4 dust storms on the way home. It looked like there were a lot of plays in the second half with 4 D linemen. Do we think we start seeing more of this, and maybe more so with UCF and their running game coming to Nippert?
I'd have to look at it, Scott. I did not notice 4 D linemen. They might have had a linebacker stepped
They
up.
may have. I know as far as when they were lining up, I could see from my vantage point up in the box. There was definitely lined up in a lot of plays in 4-2-5. But again, I couldn't tell who was lining up.
Yeah,
when I
didn't necessarily see them taking a linebacker off and running a lineman in. Some of that could have been Iowa State specific because they go so heavy because they play those 4 tight ends and they'll play a lot of 12 and 13 personnel. So it could have been to combat that some. You know what? Maybe I'll ask Satterfield tomorrow.
There you go.
In the weekly press conference, and we'll get an answer. That's the beauty when you watch this podcast or this network over some other people that do shows that cover UC. They're not media members. They're fans. So they can't do things like go to a press conference and ask the coach something like that from Scott. That's a good question, but I don't necessarily have a direct answer to. It is not always easy to see from field level because a lot of times I'm behind the offense when the other team has the ball so that I can watch how things are developing from field level. I don't watch it a lot from behind Cincinnati's defense. So I'll get you an answer, Scotty. But possibly with UCF, if they were doing it to Iowa State, even if it was just walking that linebacker all the way up to the edge and using him as an extra D lineman, I could see them absolutely doing that with UCF because UCF cannot pass the football. They are dreadful passing the football.
Late mailbag submission. Royer, do you remember a random guy grabbing your shoulder pads and shaking you after the AAC title game? If so, hi, and sorry I was excited.
I don't know. It was a chaotic scene there. I don't remember specifically, but no need to be sorry. I'm sure I loved it. No, but Chad, they were doing those late substitutions. So honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they were subbing over a 4th D lineman versus those like 12 or 13s.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm just saying I can't answer it specifically because I didn't have an angle to really see it.
Because normally it's either Golday or Dingle that walk up. Yeah. So I didn't notice it straight up myself.
Should have paid more attention to the numbers. Sorry, that's on me. If we win the next 2 and Baylor beats TCU, do you think we could get Big Noon kickoff versus Baylor on 10/25? Big Ten slate looks pretty rough. Would think our competition is BYU at Iowa State and Illinois at Washington.
Maybe. Hopefully.
Wouldn't you rather prefer Dip at night?
Another noon game. Let's go.
I think I saw something about Big 12 caters more to your homecoming if you request a certain slot or not. So we'll see.
I don't know. All right. Would you take 8-4 and a nice warm weather bowl game right now, or do you want to see if we win 9 or 10 comes our way? If win 9 or 10 comes our way.
Oh, like automatic 8 versus play it out
versus risk it, and maybe it's
7
different. Yeah.
So 4-3. So I think we're gonna win the next 2 games. That would mean we'd have to go 2-3 in the final 5 just to get 8. Which
I'm risking it.
Yeah.
Risk it. Risk it for the biscuit.
Yeah, buddy.
Which of the following is the 5-game MVP? Brendan Sorsby, the kicking game / special teams, Jake Golday, the offensive line, or the Walker Pryor two-headed monster?
Still Sorsby. He was just money, man. Money on the ground. Great decision making.
Is this just this past game, or is this through 5 games?
The 5-game MVP through 5.
Oh, still him.
Yeah. I'd say Sorsby, Golday, O-line, special teams, Walker Pryor.
Man, it's really you're putting the offensive line that low?
What are you putting him over Golday?
Yes, I think so.
No.
I think I might have offensive line at number 1.
Yeah, I mean, just
Mine is B Soars, O line, Golday. I mean, special teams have been good.
Special teams a bit like that's for me.
Great.
yeah.
The offensive line and the special teams have been the difference. Like those are the reasons. Yes, Sorsby has played better. Yes, the wide receivers have been better. Yes, they're doing a great job with both guys at running back and using them effectively. But special teams, offensive line, like that's why this team is in a much better position this year.
Yeah.
Personal opinion.
I can agree.
Well, and I guess even given Brendan Sorsby over the offensive line, it's the offensive line is taking care of both the run game and the pass game. Both. We've talked about it throughout this entire podcast tonight.
Yeah.
So it's not just affecting the passing game, which is allowing Brendan Sorsby to do that, and it's not just affecting the running game, which is allowing Brendan Sorsby and Walker and Pryor to do what they're doing. It's
domination on both.
That's why I question Brent putting the offensive line at 4. I don't know if I'm putting Sorsby or that offensive line at 1-2. I could easily be talked into the offensive line at 1. Moving on. Do any of you fear, as much as I do, of a UC blunder the next 2 weeks? Why are you speaking this into existence? How many of you honestly thought at 31-22, here we go again? Be honest. Chuckle, chuckle.
I mean,
There's no way we were losing that game, especially when we scored the touchdown in the second half. Pryor's run.
Oh, yeah.
At 31-30, I might have been a little nervous, but it didn't get there.
Right.
Yes.
The fact that it was always like that 9-point spread vibe,
Yeah.
it was like, okay, we're 2 scores. It's all good.
I did say to Chad when it was 31-22 and Iowa State's marching, I'm like, Vegas had them at 1.5, so maybe 8 points here. Yikes.
Yeah. I would go O-line, special team. Oh, we're already past that. Sorry.
Evan Pryor is averaging 7 touches per game. He's averaging 9 yards every time he touches the ball. Tawee Walker is averaging 12 touches per game and 5.5 yards per touch. Any chance these 2 guys should get more like 25, 30 touches per game rather than 19?
No. Where are you taking touches away from? Like we always do every time we do this, every time somebody has success. Well, they should be using them more. Well, okay, now you're talking about one of the best offenses in the country. Who are you taking? Do you want the ball out of Sorsby's hands?
Nope.
Right.
You want him not throwing to Royer and Allen and Noah Jennings and Caleb Goody and like.
Well,
I mean,
also
they're having that success because of all the other options are equally having that success. So
I was going to say
we've
also
machine.
We've also played the game where Evan Pryor gets more touches, and it has not gone necessarily really well. So this is kind of his sweet spot right there in that 5 to 10 range for Evan Pryor, and Tawee, I think,
15,
is probably somewhere between 10 and 15.
Yeah.
So I think right now we're kind of right where you want to be. All right. Last week, I asked if the 39.5 points per game we were averaging is who we are. The collective BBP panel answer was no, we are a 24 to 28 point per game team. 1 game later, we are still averaging 39.2 points per game. Is this who we are? P.S.
No.
Pull out pull out Northwestern State, and we are scoring 31.5.
I think you're making me think more 28-31 now,
Agreed.
especially after this week.
Agreed.
But no,
I mean, 40 points per game. That's special.
We're not there. We're not there.
I think
But
you
30, right at 30. That's what Dave said.
That's-
30.
that needs to be the bar, and anything over that is gravy. But 30 needs to be the bar.
Yeah.
All right, this is a fun one. Rank these receiver groups. Primary targets as college players. Any chance this year's group sneaks into the one hole by year's end? A. McKay, Washington, Morrison, Moore, Holton. Crazy that Chris Moore is still in the league, by the way. Gunnar Keel, 2014. Royer, Allen, Caldwell, Goody, Jennings for Brendan Sorsby in 25. And Wiley, Taylor, Scott, Tucker, Pierce, Young, and Des Ritter in 21. Ryan, we know your answer.
that is one.
It's not.
You think?
No, it's not.
You going
You
Gunnar
said
Keel?
That group with Gunner was unfucking believable, Ryan. I mean, McKay, Washington.
You saw it more than me. I only see highlights, so I don't.
They were elite. Like that was
that Ohio State
elite.
game
Where Chris Moore went deep on Eli Apple 3 times and should have had a fourth.
Right.
Like that group, top to bottom, that your group might have been better right at the top, Ryan, but that group 1 through 6, everybody was just as effective. Like everybody was a top of the
average
roster type guy. The average was better than the group with Dez. Also, I love Dez. When Gunner had that group before he got hit and it derailed things, Gunnar Keel could sling the rock, and they just had guys all over the place to make plays on the football. That was as good of a passing offense as I can recall here. I would have your group second, this group third, but it's 5 games in. They've got a chance because they're having so many guys step up and make plays across the top of this group. They got a chance. I wouldn't rule it out that they could make a play up the list. But those other 2 groups were excellent.
Caleb Goody was open all day long on that deep route.
Oh, yeah.
Is it just me, or does the middle of the field seem under-targeted for passing attempts by UC? If so, why?
In past years, yes. I don't think it has been. I don't think you're going to do a lot of that against Ohio State because of that middle safety lurking in that. They're dropping their linebackers. That's why the run game was so effective. Their linebackers were 10 yards down the field. They've got the extra safety. I don't think you're going to be able to do a lot in the middle of the field against Iowa State. But go back and watch that Kansas game. They murdered Kansas's pass defense over the middle of the field. So I think in years past, we've talked about it here. Unhappy with being able to move the ball over the middle of the field. Everything was, swing passes, curl routes, or go routes. Everything was to the sideline. I think you're seeing a lot more over the middle of the field.
Yeah, Tony had Dom Goodman early, but he had Benz, he had DJ Woods, Ben Gaduli.
I mean, Marty puts that group absolutely in the conversation.
Yeah.
Bones Barnett, who was awesome for like 2 years, and then
his freshman year, Bones Barnett was nasty.
Yeah,
and then
Tony had a great group.
Yeah, DJ Woods was good.
Yeah,
don't think about that
until he wasn't.
Oklahoma game.
Yeah.
I was avoiding that one like the plague. That ends the football portion of the mailbag. Moving on to the basketball portion of the Greg Hooden mailbag. Out of the Georgia and Clemson game, which one do you feel more confident that we win? I couldn't care less.
Oh, Jesus.
Thanks, Dave.
It's exhibition, bro.
They're not. Those aren't exhibition games. Those are regular season games.
I was totally thinking the exhibition games.
No, those are
Arkansas and Michigan.
Arkansas and Michigan are the exhibition games.
than out of those two.
Probably Clemson, because I think Clemson lost more. I
Clemson
know they
did
both
lose a
lost
bunch.
quite a bit, but Clemson, I
Yeah.
think, lost most of their team.
Georgia's like
Um,
expected to be a fringe,
Yeah.
tournament team.
And I mean, I don't know. I don't know which arena. Like Clemson does not have a rabid basketball following,
Well,
especially in a season
who
that's
are they
not
gonna
expected.
travel to? Yeah.
So I know
They're
that's
both
close. It's
neutral,
only
yeah.
it's like 45 minutes from Clemson
Right.
to get to
Greenville.
So Greenville, yeah. I think Clemson's the better chance, but I think Cincinnati should win both.
I'm with you. I think just largely based on all of those factors. Clemson.
Georgia should be decent. Like I'm not underestimating Georgia. That will be a tough game in Atlanta, but
Yeah.
this team should be able
The
to
fact
beat
that
both.
that's
of
like
those
a big
teams.
showcase, though, too. Kind of like will make it. I don't know. I feel like it'll be a little bit more of like a throwing them out there and here we go type game.
Yeah.
When we talk about the current roster, we hear a lot about Chom, Buck, Day, those kind of guys. Is there a player you guys think we are not talking about enough? Keyshawn Tillery.
Yeah. I think it's Big Slime. I think there's a lot of talk about the Baba and Chom. I think Slime gives them a really interesting changeup, a really interesting, different pitch in the bag to be able to throw a bruiser out there that can really pass from the high post, that can hit the mid-range jump shot, that can put it on the floor and drive to the rim. I think in terms of like, where does the offense come from on this team? And look, I was talking to somebody over the weekend that said they thought, and this person has been to practice quite a bit, they thought Chom could be a 14, 15 point a game guy. And that is, from what I've heard, he's not been a guy out there shooting a lot of threes. Like they have been really impressed with his ability to score back to the basket and have been using him in that mode a lot.
Can't wait.
In the practices leading up to the season. So that gives you a guy that you can throw it to and get a bucket. He's got a nice free throw stroke. It looks a little unorthodox, but he can shoot from the line. So I think Haynes is a guy that really can be kind of a secret weapon that isn't being talked about much. And then Kirk Kriisa is getting a lot of praise as well from the people I've talked to.
And probably a dumb time for me to answer this way, but I hope in like a month it's either Jordy or Atari are like kind of like the point where it's like, oh, I think he's going to be able to get like 15 minutes and make an
I
impact.
think Jordy's going to be able to do that.
Yeah. So
it might not be right away.
Right.
But I think Jordy's going to be able to do that. From everything I've seen and heard so far, he came in ready to go. I think Atari's got a little bit more, and he came in later.
Right.
And I think he's got a little bit more to go to get up to speed. But the reports on Jordy so far have been good.
Yeah. I think for me, it's Keyshawn Tillery and Celestine, actually. I don't think we talked nearly enough about him and how big just recruiting him onto this team was for the staff. They were super high on him when they brought him in.
And if he's a guy that can hit 42% of his threes like he did at Cal, and even 38% at Baylor, that gives you a big-time weapon that you can put on the floor, space the floor, and a guy that defenses can't leave. You've got to guard him.
Yep. All right. In the past 2 off seasons, Miller has brought in a shot doctor, a GM, a dedicated big man coach, and most recently a veteran in the NBA advanced scouting field. Is this the most complete UC basketball staff ever assembled, and is there even more room to grow?
It's the most complete staff ever assembled because there's like 7 guys more than a normal staff.
Because you can now.
Because you can, right? Like you
Yeah.
get 5 on the court instead of 3, and now you got Corey Evans, and
They're just being smart. Yeah.
yeah, like you know, it's the best. It better be the best because they've got like 6 more bodies than most any other staff that UC has ever had. So yes, it should be. And I don't know what else do you want? What else could you possibly get? I mean, I guess there's always room for improvement, but they've checked about every box that you could ask for so far.
Yeah.
All right. I think that ends the. Oh no, there were a couple more actually.
Yeah.
Must have been late. Sorry, I'm not going to have the names on here as I add them in. But who are you hearing from the staff as separating themselves or generating heavy buzz from practice?
We talked about that a little bit. Chom, it has really been impressive from everything I've heard. Krisa's been good from everything I've heard. Abayev is getting a lot of praise. I think there is some understanding that it's going to take him a little while to adjust. But the message I got on that was people are going to have to understand we've got to let him play through that. Like, he's not going to get to where he needs to be in January and February unless we let him play through some of this stuff in November and December. So it might be a little bumpy early, but they have seen enough from him that there is a belief that he can be a difference maker as a guy that can provide offense anytime you need it. It can be a guy that can get you buckets. I mean, I'm still interested to see, and I know Rayfeld has done a good job with him, but he had a long way to go in his upper body strength. And he had a good core, but he's a guy that can get kind of bumped off his spot, and physicality has bothered him at times on his way up. He has got to be thrown into the Wolves here, even if at times it's frustrating. Even if at times people are screaming to get him off the court, because he's got to learn how to play through that, because his ability to score is that high quality. So he's one I'm hearing a lot about, that he's getting there. He is making the necessary strides. He is in the gym, constantly working on his game to get better. He understands where he needs to get better at. Now it's a matter of gaining the experience, gaining the level of, battle wounds that will get him where he wants to be. I've heard a lot of good things about him. Day, I think, is going to be interesting. I don't know how much he's going to play point guard. I don't know how much they are going to ask him to run the offense. Like, he might bring it up and initiate the offense.
Right.
But I get the feeling they're looking at him as a guy that they're going to say, we want you catch and shoot on the wing. We want you playing downhill, in the flow of the offense, not in isolation. So that'll be interesting to watch, because that means you're going to get a lot of Kerr at point guard. You're going to get a lot of Tillery at point guard if Day isn't going to be playing a ton on the ball. So that's a little bit of insight on some of the stuff I've been hearing from practice. Volleyball has been the enemy of all of us right now, because practice is generally in the afternoon, and I have to be at volleyball right around when practice ends, which means dealing with traffic, getting all the way over here back to God's country. It has made it prohibitive to be at many practices. We got 2 weeks left. And then I'm hoping to go this week, and we'll get it ramped up. That's been partially on me. Blame Kelsey. It's her fault.
Cool.
All right, that ends the basketball portion of the mailbag. Moving on to, there was nothing in the baseball portion, so we'll move on to the banks. And there's 2 questions there. What song did you sing the wrong words to for a period of time out loud, only to find you were singing the wrong word or words all along? Example, Tiny Happy People by REM, or Living on a Prairie by Bon Jovi, Or
What?
One Toe Over the Line by Brewer and Shipley. I don't even know what that is.
I don't know.
Isn't it Tiny Happy People? Isn't that what it is? Oh, is it Shiny?
Shiny happy people.
Oh,
It's not tiny happy people.
Tiny happy people. That one song like I love you always, forever, near and far, oceans together, everywhere I will be with you. It's actually Closer Together, I think. I
It
don't
is
know.
Closer Together.
Okay.
Not
Go
Oceans.
Hold me closer, Tony Danza.
Oh, yep. That was one. Yeah, that's right. Living in an Amish paradise. That's not that song. It's a different song, and you sing it, and any Weird Al song really.
You do know he changes the words, right?
Oh, is it not the right words?
Like on purpose, he changes them from they're called parodies.
Oh, I didn't know that. Wow. Cool.
Interesting.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh God.
If we weren't 2 hours and 5 minutes into this, we'd spend more time on that Killer V. Plus, you had like 48 questions in this mailbag. What teenage fashion or fad did you lean into a bit too hard growing up? I still wear my pants about 2 inches below the belt line, and the kids here freak out. They don't know what I'm doing.
Agreed. Pull your
That's
pants
fine.
up.
That's fine.
I probably
Don't worry
leaned a
about
little too hard into the crisscross backwards fad. I knew it was an asshole move, so I leaned into it. I knew it would piss everybody off, so I kind of. Brent, are you not familiar with this?
No,
Ryan is clearly not familiar with this.
There was a band. There was two. It was a hip hop duo that were like 12 years old called Crisscross. Crisscross.
They did the dance in that one movie, right?
Jump.
Daddy Mac will make you jump. Right? They wore their clothes backwards.
Oh, okay.
Like the back pockets of your jeans would be right on your thighs.
Nice.
Yeah, and like baseball jerseys backwards, buttoned up backwards. Everything had to be backwards. As you can see, I kept the hat backwards, but I probably leaned in a little too hard to turning all my clothes backwards when Crisscross made that popular.
Okay. Basketball shorts and polo shirt for me.
Look, I'm just glad that as we got older, Chad, we no longer have to fold our socks into our shoes to have ankle socks.
Oh, how about
that was a thing.
How about pinning your jeans and rolling them like the folded them over and then rolled them up? Was that before you? You're a couple years younger than me. You might have missed that one.
What you're talking about?
Yeah. That was to make the ankle part of your jeans tighter.
Zip down that zipper. Let it rip.
That's the mailbag. Get us out of here, Brent.
Well, you know what? We were joined by a guy named Ben Bryant earlier today. Fantastic quarterback, even better guy, even fantastic friend.
The best guy.
The best guy. Friend. He joined the show after a huge win. Number 14, Iowa State goes down to the Bearcats 38-30. If you didn't know, the Bearcats are the talk of the towns. Coach Scott Satterfield was named the coach of the Big 12 for the second week in a row, pardon me. A lot of notoriety around these Bearcats. They got a big one this weekend. Familiar foe entering the friendly confines of Nippert Stadium. That's right. Central coming in to Cincinnati. Game at 12 noon. That's right. OK State did get that 8 p.m. kickoff time. So, yeah, that's right. We get a little night game action, but it's on the road in Stillwater. That's in 2 weeks. This weekend it is UCF. Chad and Dave will be diving into that one. And, of course, BCJ will have all the coverage you need. But shouts to Ben Bryant. Shouts to Danco Transition Auto Care. Shouts to Quick Paper Supply. And shouts to Gregory Hood. And shouts to my best friend, Ryan Royer. So without further ado, for the crew, for the guys, for the squad, and for my pals, for Aaron Smith, Chad Brendel, Ron Royer, I am Brent Young. Yet again, another fantastic BBP presented by BearcatJournal.com.
See ya.